test.
Okay. Okay, here. Okay. Maybe they're not coming because their dads are doing camping training today.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
So to get certified, so we can take the boys camping, we have to have 1 leader go out and do the lessons. And I said, I don't like camping.
You don't like camping?
I'm not an outdoorsy person.
Oh my gosh. I had to do that like 4 times. Did you on Saturday?
Clinton, sit.
Yeah.
What?
Play my favorite game on my iPad.
Is that your favorite game on the iPad?
But
That's actually good too. Taking a break from playing games and eating is an important thing.
you're supposed to be quiet once the bell starts to ring, right?
Good morning. My name is Clinton, and today I will be chairperson for today's service. Are there any new visitors or students and families here this morning? We will have sister chanting. Please join in the reading of Sambujo on page 24 in the big book, followed by Juseige on page 23 in the little book, and page 93 in the big book. Now we'll have Gatha, Tsuki, Deta on page 96, followed by the golden chain located on page 2 in the little book and page 15 in the big book under golden chain 1. the golden chain. I am a link in Amita's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my brink thick and strong. I'll be kind and gentle to every living thing and all who are weaker than myself. Say pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namai Dapsu. Namai Dapsu. Namai Dapsu. Now we'll have a Dharma lesson by Mr. Dennis Akizuki.
Good morning. Please join me in Gassho and reciting the Nembutsu again. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, welcome to everyone who's joined us, wherever you are, here or watching this live, or maybe you're going to watch it later. We're glad you're with us. If we have anybody new today? Okay, we're going to, for Dharma school students, we're going to have a little vocabulary test. Who knows what this word is? It's spelled Etiquette. Okay, etiquette. I heard somebody say etiquette. And what does etiquette mean? Manners? Yeah, pretty much. The dictionary says it means the customary code of polite behavior in society or among members of a particular profession or group. So we're a particular group, so there's some etiquette that we follow, right? So we're basically talking about good manners, being polite. Who can give some examples of proper etiquette, being polite? Yes?
Like table manners?
I'm sorry?
Table manners?
Table manners, yes. Anybody else? Okay, so here are some examples. This is from parade.com, has a list of 50 etiquette rules to live by. Hold the door for the person behind you. Here's an interesting one. Never lick your knife.
Ugh.
Yeah, especially if it's sharp, right?
No.
Keep a supply of thank you notes on hand for those times when someone gives you a gift. Never take a roll from the bread basket without offering it to your neighbor first. Be punctual. Here's a good one that parents can appreciate. Put your phone away during meals. Offer to help clean up. Treat people how you want to be treated.
Ooh, that's the golden rule.
That's the golden rule? That's very good. So what do you think of all of these? Well,
It should be correct except the second one.
why is the second one not correct? You could lick your knife?
That just sounds like something nobody would do.
Oh, okay. He said that sounds like something no one would do, to lick your knife. Okay. Do you think we have etiquette for the temple?
Probably.
What? Probably? You're not sure. Do anybody have examples of etiquette we have at the temple? Yes.
Step in other people's shoes. See what they're saying.
Do what?
See what they're saying.
See what people are saying?
Seeing.
Seeing.
Step in other people's shoes.
Step in other people's shoes.
Step in other people's shoes. Okay, good. Yes.
Don't talk when someone else is talking.
Don't talk when somebody else is talking, or when there's a Dharma talk, or when we're chanting or singing, right? How about when we enter and leave the hondo? Okay, do you know this? When entering the hondo or other religious facilities, you bow and enter with your left foot. It's a sign that you're being humble and respectful as you enter. Likewise, when you leave, you bow and you leave with your right foot. Good. One thing we do quite often is ga s h o u, which means put your hands together. And so you kind of line up your hands like this, right? With the ojusa like that way, and you kind of line it up like in the middle of your chest a little bit, elbows close to the body. Okay, so when not in use, where should your ojusa be? Left hand. If you wear a wrist nenju, it should be on your left hand. Right? Okay, then there's something I think we have problems with. Oshoko, incense offering. We struggle how to do it the right way. We kind of watch people and think, is that person doing it the right way? Should I do it like that person in front of me? Right? I do that sometimes. It comes, because I'm kind of old, so I said, how do we do this again? So here's the preferred method of doing oshoko. In other words, no one's going to come and berate you if you do it improperly, but there's a preferred way of doing it. You stand with your feet together a couple of steps in front of the burner. You bow at a 15-degree angle. No one's going to be measuring, so basically you kind of bow a little bit. Then you step forward, again with your, what do you think, left or right foot? Left foot. Step with your left foot, feet together. Take a pitch of incense with your right hand. Put it into the burner. Gasho. Bow at a 45-degree angle. Again, no one's going to be measuring if you're at 45 degrees, but it's a lower bow than the initial bow. Then you back up with your right foot. Feet together, bow again at a 15-degree angle. Okay, that's kind of difficult. So we're going to have, if you can draw your attention to the screen, we're going to show a short video of how to do oshoko.
The ritual of oshoko, or burning incense, is an act of purification. The incense burner is placed before the image of the Buddha to help us approach the Buddha and to hear and receive the Dharma that the Buddha openly shares with all. The steps for oshoko as established by the Jodo Shinshu Honganji-ha are as follows. Oshoko begins by approaching the incense burner and stopping a step or two before the burner. From that location, you bow from your waist 15 degrees, finish your bow, and return to an upright position. Next, you step forward with your left foot, and after putting your feet back together so that you are standing in an upright position of attention, you stop. If the lid of the incense caddy is closed, open and place the lid on top of the right edge of the caddy. With the ground incense now exposed, take a pinch and drop it into the incense burner. If you are the last one to burn incense, close the lid of the incense caddy. Next, put your hands together in gassho, or the posture of placing the two palms of your hands along with your nenju, or mindfulness beads, together on your chest at a 45-degree angle. With your hands still in gassho, bow at your waist 45 degrees. After finishing your bow, return to an upright position. Place your hands at your sides, then step back with your right foot. Place your feet back together so that you are again at attention, then bow from your waist until you reach 15 degrees and finish your bow by returning to an upright position. The ritual of oshoko, or burning incense, is an act of purification. Oshoko is to remind us that we need to purify our hearts and minds to receive the truth as it is and to let go of any preconceived notions of the truth.
produced at the Gardena
If you
Buddhist
really
Temple.
want to look sexier than ever before, and shrink a good portion of your belly and thighs, do this little-known fat-melting shortcut for the next 3 days.
Okay, that was unexpected. So again, that was Gardena, produced at the Gardena Buddhist Temple. And I think the person demonstrating the preferred way is Cindy Yasaki, who just became a full-fledged Jodo Shinshu minister. So see if you do Oshoko properly, you can become a minister. Takes more than that, actually. So in the video, it says incense offering is an act of purification. There's actually another way of explaining that, another view of that. I saw a video by Reverend Katsuya Kusanoki Rinban of the Seattle Betsuin, who says that is correct for many schools of Buddhism as an act of purification. He says, in Jodo Shinshu, incense offering is a way of expressing our respect and gratitude to Amida Buddha. So, so we have situations here at Temple that we have etiquette that we should follow. They're preferred ways of doing things like Oshoko. So, but let's remember that one of the most important things for Shin Buddhists such ourselves is to do what? What should we do a lot? Anyone? We should recite the Nembutsu, right? To express our gratitude for what we have. And remember, saying Nembutsu, expressing our gratitude, is not something just here in the temple. You should try it. Try it in your everyday lives. See if that will help you. See if that will make you feel good. I think expressing gratitude should also always make us feel good, right? You can't feel bad if you're truly expressing gratitude for something. So anyway, thank you. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Thank you to Mr. Akizuki. Now we will have Gatha Sayonara on page 103, followed by the promise located on page 5 in the little book and page 15 in the big book. The promise. We thank Buddha for showing us the way of freedom. We will endeavor to walk in his noble path every day of our lives. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you to Rinban Sakamoto, Reverend Mikame, Minister Assistants, Mr. Akizuki, Mr. Jones, and Mrs. Tanabe. And to organist Michael Yoshihara. Are there any announcements?
Good morning. This is an announcement on behalf of the junior choir. As you know, we offer a program where even though you're not musically inclined or trained, we will actually help you as long as you like to sing. So we take third graders all the way up to high schoolers, and we rehearse 1 hour after Dharma school is over. So if you're interested, please send information or your child's information to Mei Kawamoto at, I think it's ds-superintendent@sjbetsuin.org. Thank you very much.
Hi, this is an announcement from the Operations Committee. In 2 weeks, we're holding our first ever maintenance day at the Betsuin on Saturday, October 22nd, from 9 in the morning to 12 noon. The reason for doing this is there's many parts of our campus here that need some general cleaning and fixing up. So you don't have to have any skills at all, although if you do have plumbing skills or electrical skills, we could certainly use you. But if you're just like me and you have no skills, then you can come and help clean and do whatever. So there's a link in the current Dharma newsletter from an article. So look for the article written by Mike Morey on that. And if you can't find that, you can just contact Deborah in the church office and sign up for that. And for all the volunteers who help out, we're serving a barbecue lunch, hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff like that. Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is Alyssa.
And I'm Chiami.
We are from Girl Scout Troop 61052. For our Silver Award project, we are building a lending library which will be placed by the Education Building. One of our goals for this project is to help keep Japanese culture alive in Japantown by sharing any books for our community.
Please help us get started by donating books in the box at the entrance of the Hondo. We would especially appreciate any books related to the Japanese culture. Thank you.
Good morning. So my announcement is just a statement of gratitude. I spent the last 3 days up in Berkeley at the Jodo Shinshu Center going through Tokudo training. This is part of a year-long really process, first of 4 sessions, and then assuming that's successful on to Kyoto rather in December. But since the Betsuin sponsors me in these efforts, I want to make sure to say thank you to all of you, because part of what you or your parents contribute to the temple goes toward that. We received 3 days of training with folks like Rinban Kusunoki from Seattle, Bishop Harada from Reverend Hirano from Salt Lake, and Reverend Endo from the Bishop's office, and so on. So it's a lot of work for the people to put this on, and just a small sacrifice for those of us involved to participate. But there's about 12 of us going through the process right now. But again, I want to thank you all for your support.
And I want to thank everybody. This past Wednesday, we had the first open temple day, and we had a dozen people come through the doors of the temple. We had a sign out there, and they saw the sign, they came in, but a couple of people actually came because somebody here, maybe here, told somebody, a friend or a relative, and they actually came to specifically to see the temple. So that's great. So we're going to have it the first Wednesday of every month from 11 a.m. to about 5 p.m. So remember that, and hopefully more people will come. Thank you.
Before everybody leaves it. Before everybody leaves the temple, please straighten all the books for the next service. Those of you who are interested are welcome to attend the adult English service. Follow this service or to visit the open door cafe outside. For your safety, please obey the crossing guards and look both ways before crossing the street. Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you for coming. paper and I'll turn off the lights. I can't turn this off.
Good job. Maybe get a picture with that off before we get it back to.
Okay.
Take a picture. Ask your mom if you take a picture with them. Sure. See ya. Thank you.
So, what are we doing today? Hello. Juseige? Okay. And which gathas are we doing? That's by him. Do we have a Dharma message by? Who's the Dharma message given by? You? Oh, okay. Okay. Sounds like we're under control. It's a good thing I left my house early because I thought, but the roads were all closed. And it took me an extra 15 minutes to make my way here. There's a lot of frustration going on.
I know.
So,
Thank you. Good morning.
yeah, it would have been nice. Or even if, they put up a sign that says, go all the way to Heading before you come back up or something.
Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye. I like your dress. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good day. You too. Have a good day. Have a good day.
I did it wrong. Do it again.
Arigato. Thank you. Have a good day.
What time did you finish working? I thought, since it's probably going to be there till like.
No, that's just
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Oh, the SBO leaders.
Yes. Oh, so you need something? Thank you. Have a good day. They see you have to think, right? Thank you.
No pressure.
Pleasure.
That was more than 15.
Oh. Hi, Yuki. Ohayo. Hey, thank you. What's in it?
Do we have a service at 12:30?
Yes. Like in the Honda. So you'll have.
There's no sense checking with me. I know nothing.
okay.
I just, yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Dennis.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Janice Doy, and I'm your chairperson for today's service. And we welcome you. I think today is BCA Founding Day and Late Bishop's Memorial Service. So I'm sure Rinban will talk about that. Before we begin, just a reminder that there's no food or drinks in the hondo, and please also turn off your cell phones or turn them down low. Do we have any guests or visitors, like first time to the temple? Oh, where are you from? Campbell. And what made you drop in today, just out of interest? Okay, good. These guys up here will answer any of your questions. So thank you for coming, and welcome to the rest of you. It's nice to, oh, somebody's waving. Oh. Oh. Oh, okay, welcome. Oh, okay, great. We'll see you often. So anyway, thank you all for coming, and we'll begin this morning's service with opening meditation, followed by sutra chanting Juseige, which is on page 93 in the large book that's in front of you. It's the one, yeah. And page 23 in the little purple book, if you want to refer to that book. So.
Yo
Now, if you would all please rise for Gatha, Shinshu, Shuka, which is on page 88 in the large service book.
Join now in the reading of the three treasures found in the large service book on page 8. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we absorb in ourselves the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in a life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. I've kind of usurped the chairperson's responsibility. I kind of came up to the podium and started doing three treasures. Normally, the chair would introduce the speaker for the morning, and that would be me. So I'm going to give the Dharma talk this morning. So again, welcome. Good morning, everyone, to this morning's service. We had a wonderful Dharma message by Dennis Akizuki this morning on etiquette. And sometimes even people who've been around for a long time may kind of fall into patterns that have drifted a little bit from what we were taught in Dharma school. And so it was a good refresher that when we enter the Hondo, when we do Oshoko, there are patterns that have come down to us over many years, and it was good to hear that again. One of the things that we started doing here that Mikame Sensei introduced, and well, there were many things that she introduced that I kind of forgot about and I was not paying attention. But one of the things that was mentioned in the video that was played was when you come up for a shoko, if they call it a caddy, an incense caddy, so the container is closed, then you take the cover off and put it on the edge of the right side of the caddy, so that it's kind of, if this is the caddy, you take the cover off and you put it here, not flat on the surface next to it. So you kind of have it up like this. I always just kind of take the cover off and put it next to it. And Mikame has been putting it on the edge, and she's been very consistent with that. And I'm kind of not picking up her signal saying, don't do this, do this. now that I've seen it in video, maybe it'll stick in my head. But yeah, so that was something that Mikame has been doing, and I haven't quite caught on to that practice yet. But one of these days. And then if you're the last person, you're actually supposed to close that. After, if you're the last person, you close that cover. Normally, we don't think of that as being our responsibility to open or to close, right? It's somebody else going to do it, so we don't pay attention. So even if we're the last person, nobody behind me, we should close that caddy. And that was interesting. The other thing that you mentioned, which I took some discomfort to hear, that incense burning, the most common meaning is associated with is purification, and certainly that's found in Jodo Shinshu. And it was expressed in that way in the video also. The other thing that Dennis mentioned was that Kusunoki Sensei, I guess in a video or something in his Dharma talk, that incense burning is an expression of gratitude to the Buddha. So gratitude to the Buddha is something that I've learned in the past. But what I like to say is that it's a reminder for us of the impermanence of things as it burns. So here we have three different definitions of the same act of incense burning. And I think if we take all three and think about them, it really doesn't matter that it reminds us of something that is in the Dharma, and that it kind of helps us to make that a part of our life. I think that's important, whether we think of it as impermanence or think of it as expression of gratitude to Amida Buddha, right? This is something that fundamental to us in Jodo Shinshu, or of purification, purifying body, purifying mind. That's a practice that's found in many Buddhist religious traditions to have purification, incense burning as an act of purification. So we had a nice, wonderful Dharma message, and you can go back and you can review that on YouTube. So I hope you get a chance to take a look at that. This morning I want to talk about, we have a mandala in Buddhism that expresses the 6 realms of existence, samsara. Samsara is a term that we've heard many times in Buddhism, but samsara really kind of represents, expresses birth and death, the life that we are a part of. And in this birth and death, we encounter the difficulties that Buddhism is trying to show us how to resolve. Right? So in this mandala that depicts this 6 realms of existence, the world of samsara, these realms are the heavenly realms, the human beings, animals, hells, pretas, hungry ghosts, ashura, fighting spirits. And so these are the 6 realms of existence that we kind of rotate through or cycle through. And in the hub of this are the 3 poisons, sandoku, so anger, ignorance, and greed. These are the characteristics that bind us to this 6 realms of existence, that cause us to cycle through these 6 realms. So again, the heavenly beings, the human beings, fighting, what are these guys? Animals. Yeah. Animals, and then the hells. In Buddhism, hells, interesting, not just one kind of hell, all kinds of hells. And then hot hells, cold hells, lukewarm hells, all kinds of hells, not just one. And then pretas, hungry ghosts, which should be a familiar term for us in Buddhism. Pretas was where, the realm of pretas was where Moggallana found or saw his mother after his mother died. And Moggallana was a disciple of Shakyamuni Buddha. And it's out of that story of Moggallana finding his mother in this realm of hungry ghosts, and through the instructions of Shakyamuni Buddha, able to release his mother from the realm of hungry ghosts, that the story of Obon. So it's the Ulambana Sutra that this story is found in. So Moggallana sees his mother in this realm of hungry ghosts and is able to find a way to, through Shakyamuni Buddha's instructions, to release her from that realm of hungry ghosts. And then fighting spirits, and then again, heavenly beings. At the hub that drives us through these 6 realms of existence, whether we think of these 6 realms, going through these 6 realms of existence as going from one life to the next life to the next life, in Buddhism, we don't think in terms of reincarnation, right? There is no permanent self. There is no soul in Buddhism that continues permanently. The way of understanding ourselves is anatman, no permanent self that persists, that we are. We persist over time, but eventually that comes to an end. So there's no self that continues infinitely, and that self isn't something that's identifiable, that continues. That self is made up of many things. There are many causes and conditions that make this self persist over time, but eventually that self dissipates. So the example that often is given when we think of ourselves as persisting over time is that of the wave. Right? The wave exists, comes into being because of many causes and conditions, and then as that wave travels, it persists, and then it dissipates as the causes and conditions change, and so the wave dissipates. The wave doesn't just disappear. It returns to that larger body of water, and then the next wave. But that next wave that comes up is not the same water, it's not the same conditions, but it is identifiable and it persists over time. And then it too dissipates. Right now there are big waves off of Mavericks. Is that Mavericks going on right now? Yeah. So big waves. So big waves. Not just But again, even with Mavericks, right? Eventually, Mavericks is going to disappear. I mean, not disappear, but it'll be until next year that we won't see those kinds of conditions. So the conditions make this wave appear and persist over time. We exist and persist over time because of causes and conditions. And eventually, those causes and conditions change, and then we dissipate. So, cycling through these 6 realms of existence, we have characteristics that define or that bring us into being, and then we might cycle through these 6 realms of existence. Sometimes, one way of understanding this is that we persist over time, going through many different lives. The Dalai Lama is thought to be, I think, the 14th incarnation of Bodhisattva of compassion. But even the Dalai Lama is saying we maybe have to rethink that idea of persisting. How do we persist over time through many cycles? But in Buddhism, the idea is not so much to figure out how we can continue and how we can go either up or down, avoid going down, not going to become a heavenly being. The idea is how do we become free of this 6 realms of existence. I was talking with our partner students this morning about the 6 realms of existence. I said it's about getting off the 6 realms. And then one girl was looking at it and saying, this is existence, and then we're supposed to go here and get off this. Didn't make any sense to her. Yeah, and so it doesn't make any sense. I mean, we're usually, the way that we think, we're trying to avoid falling into hell and then kind of trying to get to a better place, something to improve, right, to become heavenly beings. But this samsara is a perception that we have of what we are experiencing. That this perception is not only something that we perceive, but actually affects us, that actually has consequences to what we are experiencing, what we're feeling, what we're thinking, and that these at the core of these 6 realms of existence is this, at the hub are these 3 characteristics, greed, anger, and ignorance, that bind us in a sense to this perception of what we are experiencing, that causes us to experience what we see, where we are immersed in as samsara. And as you recall, I've said this many times. Maybe you don't recall. It might be okay. But there's this line, this verse in Shoshinge, in which Shinran says, a person of Shinjin realizes that birth and death is samsara is nirvana. The person of Shinjin realizes that samsara, birth and death, is nirvana. And again, maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I'm going to grab onto it until somebody says, no, you're wrong. But Shinran says, samsara is nirvana, not 2 sides of the same coin, but samsara is nirvana. And that I take to mean that it is how we perceive the world around us that causes us to experience nirvana as samsara. And that, to me, is aligns with what Shakyamuni Buddha has been talking about. That the second Unavoidable Truth, right? The blind passions that we have, our tendency to see the world through our preferences, causes us to distort the world around us. And that we experience that, the nirvana we experience as samsara. Anger, greed, ignorance causes us to engage the world in a way that separates us, that divides us. There was a story that I read, an article that I read recently about, and this is probably not that uncommon, but someone returning from the Middle East, having done several tours in the Middle East, and he returned to his hometown, and in his hometown there was a mosque, and he saw this mosque with its with the people attending the services, gathering together, having these meetings at this mosque, and he saw them as something that was unacceptable, that had to be, that situation had to be corrected. So he planned to plant a bomb in the mosque. And when as he was planning this, he went to the mosque to see where would the best place be to plant this bomb. And as he approached the doors of the mosque, there were a couple people that saw this man approaching the mosque under a hood, very tense, and coming up to the mosque. And so rather than, when they saw him, they welcomed him into the mosque. And that openness that the people there of the mosque demonstrated to him over time changed his life. Our temple has a mission statement, and the mission statement I want to put on a card because we don't remember what that mission statement is. And then has worked on this for a long time with a lot of people. We took almost 10 years to eventually come to that point. But part of it is to be open, right? To be open, to be at peace, settled. And when these, the Muslims of the mosque welcomed and invited this man into the mosque, it changed him. If he had been confronted, the people who saw him, already saw someone that was angry. He was tense on his hood, looking for, not really sure what he was going to do, but they welcomed him into the mosque. Had they confronted him with anger, he said himself that he would have probably set that bomb. But because of how they approached him with this openness and settledness, that how he saw Islam, how he saw Muslims changed. At the hub of these 6 realms of existence is, again, greed, anger, ignorance. If we continue to, as we continue to have these characteristics as a part of our lives, and it's hard to not want something. It's hard. I'm thinking, oh man, I got to get a new phone. Apple just released their 14 a couple of weeks ago. I think, oh man, I got to get a new phone. Got to get a new phone. The phone that I have is like, I think it's over 5 years old, and it's getting to. Apple will actually, at some point, I don't think I'm on the trade-in list anymore, but some of these phones they'll consider them vintage phones if they have some characteristic or something, and I think my phone is approaching that vintage category soon. But want something, right? Or can't get something. That ignorance in my perception of what I want or what I need. And then the anger is also a part of that. But had these members, these Muslims of the mosque, responded in anger, he was certain that he would have set that bomb in that mosque. We know from how we interact, engage the world, that these are the things, anger, ignorance, greed, these are the things that bind us to the world of samsara, to viewing what we experience as human beings and how we engage the world. that binds us to this perception of nirvana as a world of samsara. In Jodo Shinshu, we understand how difficult it is to change that, to get rid of that greed, get rid of the anger, get rid of the ignorance, sometimes we were able to suppress it, sometimes we were able to work our way through it, but then something else comes along, and something else turns it all upside down. But in Jodo Shinshu, what we understand is that regardless of that, because in a sense of that, the assurance of Amida Buddha reaches out to me. And as I acknowledge this assurance of Amida Buddha, I am transformed. Not the world around me, but I'm transformed. How I see the world, how I experience the world is changed. The assurance of Amida Buddha, that compassion that is extended to me, that assures me of the eventual resolution of difficulties, that assurance changes the way that I experience the world. When we encounter things that we would normally respond with in anger, and there's so much that's going on in the world around us. There are a lot of opportunities to righteously display our anger. But if we think about how that anger will affect the world, then perhaps we might think of other ways in which we can respond to how we experience and engage the world. With this person who thought about bombing the mosque, certainly his life was changed because of the way they responded to him. With gratitude and appreciation, we in Jodo Shinshu rely upon the assurance of Amida Buddha with gratitude that changes how I experience the world. And we simply respond. We say, Namo Amida Butsu. Grateful for that assurance that provides for the resolution of difficulties. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us for this morning's service. And I will transfer the responsibilities to the chairperson.
First of all, I have to apologize. I haven't done this in 2 years, so I forgot about the big book, little book, which page thing, so.
Some of these books aren't printed in order. Like this one, the table of contents is in the back.
Yeah,
It starts out on page something, and so the book is backwards.
and then one of the books, the song is actually ripped out. I can't find. So in any case, so thank you, Rinban, for your talk. Certainly, I like the idea of life as a wave and, addressing our anger, ignorance, and greed, which I do every day. So in any case, thank you to Sensei. And now if everybody please rise for Ondokusan II, which is on page 220 in this book and 76 in the little one.
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. Please be seated.
Are there any announcements? Oh, okay, we got Larry's coming up.
Hi, I'm Larry Honda, representing the Operations Committee or Facilities Committee here at the church. And this is an announcement that in 2 weeks, on Saturday, October 22nd, from 9 in the morning until 12 noon, we're going to hold our first ever Betsuin Maintenance Day. So basically, we have a group of several volunteers who come like every week to help repair and work on the church campus. But they're falling way behind, especially during the pandemic. So we decided to try to get as much of the Sangha to help us out and do some cleaning or painting or whatever needs to be done. So Mike Morey from our committee has created a list of tasks that we're trying to work on over time. And so we're going to have a subset of that done on Saturday the 22nd. There is a sign-up sheet through a Google Sheet. The link is in the Dharma newsletter article. So for those of you who get the Dharma newsletter, you can probably access this through the Betsuin website. If not, you can contact Deborah in the church office. After we work for 3 hours, then we will be serving you a barbecue lunch, hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff like that. And especially after the pandemic, it'll be nice for you to see some people you haven't seen probably in 3 years or more. So anyway, does anyone have any questions? No? Okay, thank you.
Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Michael Jones, one of the minister's assistants, and my message is an announcement so much as an expression of gratitude because the members are sponsoring me through a program for Tokudo ordination, and I spent the last 3 days up in Berkeley as one of the sessions, one of the 4 sessions this year that will go towards that. We had instruction from Rinban, Kusunoki, from Seattle Betsuin, from Bishop Harada, from Reverend Hirano from Salt Lake, and Reverend Endo from San Francisco, from the Bishop's office, and so on. And you know, there's about 12 of us going through. There were about 20 of us in the class, I suppose. But it's an interesting session. We learn a lot. A lot of people work very hard to make the 3 days possible, including folks like Judy Kono from CBE, who is in the kitchen from like 5:30 in the morning until 8 at night to make sure we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So a lot of people make this happen, but I'm very appreciative of the membership here, and to Rinban, Sakamoto, and from Reverend Mikame for helping me through the process and for all the support. So thank you.
Thank you, and that's great, Michael. I mean, we are really grateful that we have our minister assistants. We didn't have this program before, and I think they really add something to our Betsuin, and it's a great improvement. So with that, I'd like to thank Rinban Sakamoto, Reverend Mikame, our minister's assistant Sumi Tanabe, Dennis Akizuki, and Michael Jones. And to our organist, Michael Yoshihara, thank you. That concludes our service for today, and if you'd like to come up and offer incense, please feel free. Thank you. do better next year.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Doing fine, thank you.
Thanks.
I'm a big
How are you doing, beautiful?
すいません、長かった。
少し滑れた。
はようございます。はい、本日はようこそお参りくださいました。私は、この三の瀬別院の僧侶をしております三亀と申します。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。今日はですね、10月の、この日本語講座ということで、皆様ねお参りくださいましてどうもありがとうございます。このサービスのね流れをご紹介をさせていただきますけれども、最初に、皆さんお手元にこのお経本ありますかね。今日はちょっと日本語バージョンのやつがねそこにないかもしれないんですけど、この大きな方がねもしかしたら見やすいかもしれません。最初に三部城というねお勤めをさせていただきます。それがですね24ページ25ページですね。ちょっと難しい節かもしれないですけど聞いていただくだけでも構いませんので、大きな、この経本25ページ三部城というねお勤めをさせていただきます。そしてその後ねじゅうせいげというお勤めですね。お経本のこの同じお経本で、93ページですね。なので25と93で覚えとってください。はい、ちょっとね行き来をいたしますけれども、はい、こちらで三部城と十世儀をお務めさせていただいた後、ですね、三帰依文といいまして、ここにね多分画面にね出るかもしれないんですけど、見にくかったらごめんなさい。あそこで一緒に同じお言葉をお唱えするという流れになっております。その後私のお話をさせていただきます。それでは、今からお話じゃないですね、ご放送ね始めさせていただきます。ご一緒に合唱お願いいたします。合唱お念仏申し上げます。ナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダーツナマンダー礼拝、頭をお下げください。お直りください。ルージョ がとうございます。そういたしましたらですね、三帰依文という、このね、日本語のこのブックがあるかな、どうかな。あそこに出ますので、ちょっと見えにくかったらごめんなさいね。すみません。ご一緒に、読んでいただければと思います。この来三門というのは、この仏教では仏様、そして仏様が説いてくださった法、そしてそのね、仏様の教えを一緒に大切にする仲間を大切にしますよっていう言葉をね、みんなでご唱和させていただくものです。見えにくかったらごめんなさい。ここにあるかな。ちょっと見てみますね。三帰依文はね、ここにあるかな。ありました。ごめんなさい。ここのね、大きなやつの7ページにありますので、もしよかったら、皆さんの週一道っていうところから一緒に読んでみてください。私最初にね読みますので、その後ご一緒に読んでください。いきます。人参受けがたし、今すでに行く。仏法聞きがたし、今すでに聞く。好み根性に向かってどせずんば、さらにいずれの章に向かってか好みをどせん。大衆もろともに指針に参謀に帰依し奉るべし。自ら仏に帰依し奉る。まさに願わくば主情とともに大道を大義して無常意を起こさん。自ら法に帰依し奉る。まさに願わくば主情とともに深く胸像に入りて知恵海のごとくならん。自ら僧に帰依し奉る。まさに願わくば主情とともに大衆を通りして一切無下ならん。無常人人未明の方は百千万号にも相合うことかたし、我今検問し授事することを得たり、願わくは如来の真実義を下し奉らん。ご一緒に合唱ください。合唱。ナマンダーブツナンマンダーブツナマンダーブツナンマンダーブツナンマンダーブツナン。はい、ありがとうございます。はい。三帰依文ね、ご一緒にご拝読ありがとうございます。そうしましたらですね、少しばかりお話をさせていただきたいと思います。このお寺というのは浄土真宗という仏教のお寺でございまして、その浄土真宗ではどういうことをこのねお寺で聞かせてもらうのかっていうと、今私たちは仏様、目の前にいらっしゃる阿弥陀様とご一緒ですよ。どのようにご一緒くださるかっていうと、皆さんで今ねお唱えさせていただいた南無阿弥陀仏の言葉となって私の命のもとに届いてくださっている仏様ですよっていうふうにお聞かせいただくんですね。不思議ですね。なんだか何言ってるのかなっていうふうに思うんですけれども、言葉の仏となって今この私の命の一番近くに届いてくださっているということなんですね。私たちのこの、ね、世界にはたくさんいろんな言語がね溢れてますし、言葉も情報も溢れていますね。いろんな言葉を使いますけれども、今の時代は知りたいなって思ったことはね、すぐにインターネットとか、携帯でもねすぐ調べることができると思います、ね。例えば日本で起こっていること、今起こっていることも瞬時に知れることができますね。本当にすごい世の中だなと思います、でもその中には実は、ね、みんながみんな、正しい情報ばかりではなくて、たまにフェイクニュースといって不確かな情報も紛れていることもあるんですね。私たちはそういう時にそういう言葉にね、踊らされてしまうことがあるんじゃないかなっていうもんです。また私はねあんまり詳しくないんですけどね、若い人はねインターネットのSNS といってね、インスタグラムとか こう、ね、みんな携帯見ていますけどね、10代の子とか20代の子とか、その SNS がね発展したおかげで手軽にこう友達同士で、ね、メッセージを送り合って、そしてこれについて、ね、一つのものについて意見を述べたり、自由に表現することがねできるようになってきたかなって思うんです。でもその自由の反面ね、こう相手が見えないからって言ってね、こう自分勝手な意見とかこう批判の言葉で相手をこう傷つけるような、そういう書き込みが年々増えてきてるっていうのが問題になってるんですよね。言葉っていうのはたった一言で、ね、凍えるように冷え切った心にあったかいこう毛布をかけるように相手をねぬくめる、また優しく包み込むような、そんな言葉もありますね。でもその一方でね、たった一言で相手の心をぐさっと、ね、鋭いこうナイフで刺すように深く傷つける、そういう言葉もあるんじゃないかなと思います。じゃあその言葉、誰が聞いてるんでしょうか。どの言葉もね、この口から吐き出されれば誰が聞いているか、誰かがね、他の誰かが聞いている、第三者の人ね。そしてそれが文字だったらそれを目にして、感じ取っているんじゃないかな。そして、ね、やっぱり言葉っていうのは自分だけじゃなくて相手がいるから成り立つものですよね。日本のね、詩人の方で、星野富弘さんっていう方がいらっしゃるんですけど、ご存知ですか。彼はですね、体育教師をしておられた方なんですけど、もともとその方がですね、体育のその授業のね時に事故で首からこう下の自由を失って、こう、ね、半寝たきりですね、動かせるのは口だけで、口に筆を加えてこう美しい絵とか素晴らしい言葉をね残してくださっている詩人であって画家である、そういう方がいらっしゃるんですけども、その星野富弘さんはね、こんな言葉をね残してくださっています。詩を読ませていただきます。鏡を見て気がついた。悪口を言うのはもうやめよう。私の口から出た言葉を一番近くで聞くのは私の耳。もう一回読みます。鏡を見て気がついた。悪口を言うのはもうやめよう。私の口から出た言葉を一番近くで聞くのは私の耳。私ね、この詩を読ませてもらった時ね、ハッとしました。そうだなって思いました。いい言葉も悪い言葉も一番近くでね、こう聞いているのは誰かっていうと、それは他の誰でもなくこの私自身でありますよね。そうだなっていうふうに思わされました。お釈迦様、仏教の教えを、仏様のことをですね、なんていうかね、発見してくださったお方、インドのお釈迦様という方はですね、私たちが犯しやすい過ちについて10悪っていうんですけども、10個の悪い行いっていうのがありますよって言います。これを10悪っていうんですけども、仏教ではその私たちの行いを3つの観点で見ていくんです。一つは私の心、ね、そして私の心が行う行い、そして私の体が行う行い、そして私の口で行うそういう行為、その3つをね、10悪を3つに分類されているわけなんですけどね。まず体に関すること3つあるんですね。多分知っとられる方もおられると思います。3つ目、これ体に関することで、まず1つ目見えますかね、殺生、そして2つ目が中刀、3つ目が邪淫と言いますけれども、1つ目、これ殺生というのは生き物を殺すね。生き物を殺して私たちご飯食べて生かさせていただいていますけども、体でこうね、こう殺してそれをいただいているわけであります。そして中刀というのは人のものをね 盗んだりすることだそうです。そして3つ目が邪因、横島な男女関係のことですね。この3つが体に関すること。重悪、私たちはこれを犯しながら生きていますよっていうふうにね、お釈迦様言われてます。じゃあ、心に関すること3つ挙げられてるんですけど、これはね、私たちこの仏教では私たちの苦しみの原因を作り出しているものの根本ですよっていうふうに言われています。これ皆さんね、貪欲って今日読まれることあるんですけど、これ貪欲と言います。貪欲。そして真に、でこれ愚痴と言います。愚痴ってよく聞きますよね。はい、これ仏教用語なんですね、実は。はい、まずこの貪欲っていうのはどういうことかっていうと、自分にとってこうね、都合のいいもの、好きだなっていうものに対して、執着するものに対して欲しい欲しいっていうふうに執着する心です。そして、この真にっていうのはね、簡単に言うと怒りの心です。欲しい欲しいと言って求めていたものが自分の思い通りにいかなかったら腹を立てる心っていうのが2つ目の真に。それのじゃあこれが何で起こっているかっていうと、この6、愚痴ですね。自分中心で物事を見ている、そういうものの見方っていうのがこの苦しみの原因ですよっていうふうに言われています。この3つっていうのが私たちの心で行う、悪い行いですよって言われています。でね、実は私たちの言葉に関することがですね、この10個のうち実は4つ、さっきまで3つでしたけども一番多く挙げられてるんですね。それが、悪、これは悪口って書いて悪と読みます、仏教用語で。そして両舌、9番目が猛語で、10番目季語と言いますけれどもね、悪というのは、簡単ですよね。他の人の悪口を言うこと。そして、2番目の両舌っていうのは二枚舌というふうに日本語で言いますけども、こう矛盾したことを言う。さっきまでこう言っとったのに、俺今こんなこと言ってるって、嘘をつくことも含まれますけどもね。で9番目っていうのが猛語っていうのは相手を惑わす言葉ですよね。なので嘘をつくっていうこと。そして10番目が季語、きれい事を言ってこう人をおだてたりするっていうことをね挙げられている。この10個のうち、この私たちの言葉に関することがね一番多く挙げられているということは、私たちの言葉っていうのはすごく危険なものなんですよっていうことをね、危険を伴うことであるから気をつけなさいよっていうことを教えてくれているんだと思います。もしかしたらこのね、なんていうかな、状況がね変われば、もしかしたら悪口を言ってしまうような私の口から今南無阿弥陀仏とお念仏が出ている、仏様のお悟りの働きが届いているっていうことはすごいことですよっていうふうにね、親鸞上人は教えてくださっています。その先ほどのね、星野智弘さん、私の口から出た言葉を一番近くで聞いているのは、近くで聞いているのは私の耳というふうにおっしゃってました。じゃあこの耳にどういう言葉を聞いているのか、聞かせていただくんでしょうか。私たちはね、やっぱりどのような言葉に出会うかによって生き方とか方向性って変わってくると思うんですね。浄土真宗の学校で大谷大学っていう学校が京都にあるんですね。それの元学長さんで曽我良人さんというお坊さんがいらっしゃいます。こんなことをねおっしゃっておられます。良い言葉に出会っていきなさい。良い言葉は心の安定をもたらします。ありがとう、おかげさま、すみません、いただきます、ごちそうさま。たくさんのいい言葉があります。いい言葉の最たるものは南無阿弥陀仏ですっていうふうにおっしゃっています。 自分に都合のいい人に媚びへつらうような言葉だったり、自分にとって都合が悪い嫌いな人にはね、相手を蹴落とすような傷つけるような言葉をこの自分勝手な口からね、状況が変わったらもしかしたら言ってしまうかもしれない。でも私の一切のこういう計らいを超えた仏様の悟りそのものが南無阿弥陀仏という言葉となってね、私のもとに届いてきてくださっています。それは仏様の悟りは世間のね、価値判断、これが正しいとかこれが間違っているとかね、私の価値判断、これが好きこれが嫌いっていうのを全部飛び越えて、ね、いろんな違いとか、ね、言葉を超えて私っていうこの命そのものをね、仏様の悟りの世界にどうかこっちのね、惑わされずに、悟りの方に来てくださいよっていうふうに導いてくださっているのが仏様、阿弥陀様の南無阿弥陀仏っていう言葉です。不確かな言葉とか情報であふれてるこの世界でね、私に聞こえる南無阿弥陀仏っていう言葉の仏様となって、ね、どうか本当の命の、尊さに目覚めてくださいよってね、繰り返しこれが正しい、これがこうじゃなきゃっていうね、私の心を大きな仏様の心に開かせようとしてくださっているのが仏様であります。この耳にどんな言葉を聞かせていきましょうか。そして何をね、この心で受け止めていきましょうか。自分が自分のことをね、大切にできない時も、ね、相手から見捨てられたとしてもね、どんな命であっても決して見捨てることなく、今ここで、南無阿弥陀仏と私の命のもとで抱いてくださっている仏様、それが南無阿弥陀仏であります。私の声となって、私の命の一番近くで、ね、あなたは私共に生きる仏がいますよというふうに届いてくださっているそのお声、南無阿弥陀仏を今日もね、ご一緒に大切にお聞かせいただきたいと思います。ありがとうございます。はい、では私のお話はこれで終わらせていただきます。これでね、10月のお勤めを終わらせていただきました。11月もね、また予定をしております。毎月、第2日曜日のね、11時からさせていただいているんですけれども、来月はですね、ゲストをお呼びしておりまして、日本から今ね、研修生がね、2人ほど来てくださってるんですけど、日本人の方でね、私開教師といいまして、海外でこうやって仏様の教えを布教させていただくね、そういうお坊さんとしてアメリカのそういうね、一つ本部にね、アサイメントをもらってここに来てるわけなんですけども、その研修生の方たちもね、同じように、海外でアメリカで、そしてカナダで、ハワイで、ね、自分も仏様の教えをお伝えしたいというね、思いを持って、研修にね、来てくださっています。お二人ほど来てくださいますので、もしお時間ご都合が合いましたら、またこちらにね、来ていただければと思います。はい、それでは、本日のご法座をね、これにて締めさせていただきます。ご一緒に合唱お念仏申し上げて、締めさせていただきます。合唱お願いいたします。ナマンダーブツナンマンダーブツナマンダーブツナンマンダーブツナンマンダーブツ。ありがとうございます。もしよろしかったら前にね、お焼香をしてお帰りいただければと思います。